Welcome back to TPS. We all know what former NFL legends Peyton Manning, Tony Gonzalez, and Tony Romo are up to nowadays. But what's going on with some of our other favorite stars from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s? Here's a look at 12 former NFL stars who are now working regular jobs.
At TPS, we post videos every single day, so don't forget to click the subscribe button to subscribe. Then click the notification bell to be notified when we post a new video.
Shaun Alexander, public speaker and philanthropy. The Alabama product was among the NFL's most dynamic running backs of the 2000s. Alexander had a season for the ages in 2005 when he rushed for 1,880 yards and 27 touchdowns. Alexander was named the league MVP as well as the Offensive Player of the Year, leading the Seattle Seahawks to a Super Bowl 40 appearance. Alexander was a three-time Pro Bowler who led the NFL in rushing touchdowns twice, and he was named to the 2000s All-Decade team. He last played for the Washington Redskins in 2008. His career didn't end on the highest of notes, but Alexander has enjoyed a nice post-football life. According to his official website, Alexander now works as a traveling motivational speaker on topics that include religion, family, life, and community. On top of that, Alexander works with the National Center for Fathering as a spokesperson, and he does homeless shelter and drug rehab work in Seattle. Mike Ditka, restaurant owner. The Pro Football Hall of Famer was a five-time Pro Bowl tight end who won a Super Bowl with Roger Staubach's Dallas Cowboys. Of course, many better remember Ditka as the head coach of the legendary '85 Chicago Bears that used the greatest defense ever to win the Super Bowl, Super Bowl 20. On top of that, Ditka was named Coach of the Year twice in 1985 and '88. In his post-coaching career, we've seen Ditka aplenty on television as an NFL analyst. But the Bears legend also owns the Ditka restaurant chain that has locations in Pittsburgh, Chicago, and Oak Brook Terrace. We hear Ditka's steaks are pretty good too. Jamal Lewis, Southeast Exhibit's president. The former Baltimore Ravens running back was instrumental in leading the team to a Super Bowl 35 championship over the New York Giants. Lewis led the league in rushing during the 2003 season, earning the Offensive Player of the Year award as a result. Lewis finished his career with 10,607 rushing yards and 58 touchdowns. Some may argue that he belongs in the Hall of Fame, but Lewis has yet to receive the call. His final NFL season was with the Cleveland Browns in 2009. So what is Lewis up to these days? Sadly, Lewis detailed in a 2018 interview that he's still feeling the effects from concussions that he suffered in his career. On top of that, Lewis fears he has CTE. Lewis is doing all he can to live life to the fullest as he continues to deal with the hardships of playing football. The former Ravens superstar is currently working in Atlanta as president of the Southeast Exhibits and Metro Retail Solutions. Here's hoping that Lewis will stay happy as he deals with the obvious after effects of his football career. Deuce McCallister, school athletic consultant, radio guy, and restaurant owner. The former Ole Miss star spent his entire career with the New Orleans Saints, where he played from 2001 to 9. McCallister is a proud member of the Saints Hall of Fame, having earned 2 Pro Bowl selections while recording 4 1,000-yard seasons. McCallister didn't play at all for New Orleans during the 2010 postseason, but he still earned a Super Bowl 44 championship ring following their victory against the Indianapolis Colts. In 2017, McCallister was hired as an athletic consultant for St. Martin's Episcopal School, which is located in Metairie, Louisiana. McCallister was also hired by Fox 8 to work as a Saints radio analyst. And finally, he opened up the Old Saint restaurant in New Orleans. Life was good for the former Saints star, wouldn't you agree? Brian Orakpo, CUPCAKE business. Orakpo retired after a storied 10-year career that saw the stud outside linebacker earn 4 Pro Bowl selections, 3 with the Washington Redskins and 1 with the Tennessee Titans. Orakpo retired after the 2018 season, finishing with 66 career sacks and 423 tackles. Brian and his former Titans teammate Michael Griffin opened a franchise of Gigi's Cupcakes near Austin, Texas. How sweet of a post-football career it is for both Orakpo and Griffin, pun intended. Eddie George, actor and teacher. George became a can't-miss commodity after winning the Heisman Trophy, among many other prestigious awards at Ohio State in '95. He was drafted 14th overall by the Houston Oilers in '96, and George more than lived up to the hype. After the team relocated to Tennessee, George and the late Steve McNair worked together towards crafting an AFC heavyweight. Titans reached Super Bowl 34, narrowly losing to the St. Louis Rams. For his career, George finished with 4 Pro Bowl selections, and he tallied 10,441 rushing yards and 68 touchdowns. So what has George been up to since he last played for the Dallas Cowboys in 2004? He became a star Broadway actor. and he teaches the Leveraging Athletics for Business and Personal Success class at Ohio State, his alma mater. Be sure to check your local theaters to see if George is starring in a play near you. Roger Craig, marketing. He may not be in the Hall of Fame, but Roger Craig was one of the most dominant and productive running backs during his tenure with the San Francisco 49ers. Craig, the 1988 Offensive Player of the Year, won 3 Super Bowl championship rings with the 49ers. On top of that, he earned 4 Pro Bowl selections and he was named to the 1980s All-Decade team. His final NFL season took place in 1993 with the Minnesota Vikings. After his playing career, Craig continued an active lifestyle and even earned a black belt in Taekwondo while taking part in a handful of intense marathons. Today, Craig works in marketing for TIBCO Software. Drew Bledsoe, winery owner. Many of you simply remember Bledsoe as the guy whom Tom Brady replaced when the former was injured in the 2001 season. It's very easy to forget that Bledsoe was actually among the NFL's better quarterbacks during his starting days with the Patriots, however. Don't forget that before Brady arrived, Bledsoe had led the Pats to a Super Bowl 31 appearance where they fell to the Green Bay Packers. On top of that, Bledsoe earned 4 Pro Bowl selections, and he led the NFL in passing yards during the 94 campaign. And don't forget this, Bledsoe replaced an injured Brady during the 2001 AFC Championship game in Pittsburgh, and New England pulled off the win en route to a Super Bowl 36 championship. Bledsoe's last NFL season with the Cowboys was in 2006, but he ultimately lost the starting job to a guy named Tony Romo. Bledsoe is now making the big bucks, we presume, as the founder of the Doubleback Winery Company. He and wife Maura have turned it into one of America's top wineries. It even made Wine Spectator's Top 100 list. Maybe Tom Brady emerges the front man of the dynasty in Foxborough, but Bledsoe has found plenty of success in his post-football career. Dermontti Dawson, sales executive. One of the more underrated players in NFL history, Dawson spent his entire career with the Pittsburgh Steelers from 1988 to 2000. Dawson earned 7 Pro Bowl and 6 first-team All-Pro selections. He was named to the 1990s All-Decade team, and Dawson is enshrined in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, earning the induction in 2012. Dawson has stayed out of the public spotlight for the most part since his retirement. He briefly worked as a scout for both the Steelers and Cincinnati Bengals. He is now working as the Vice President of Sales for Primetime Plus. Ronnie Lott, advocate for WEARSAFE Labs. Joe Montana and Jerry Rice earned most of the credit for the San Francisco 49ers dynasty of the 80s, but world-class safety Ronnie Lott was just as critical to their success. Lott, a 10-time Pro Bowler, was part of 4 Super Bowl championship teams in San Francisco. The perennial all-team first pro led the league in interceptions twice. He was named to the NFL 75th and 100th anniversary all-time teams. Lott did it all during his career, and he's rightfully enshrined in Canton. Lott's final season took place over a quarter century ago for the New York Jets back in 1994. He briefly worked as an analyst after retiring. You don't hear Lott's name a lot these days compared to past NFL legends, but the 49ers icon is doing just fine in his post-football life. Lott now works as the chief safety advocate for WEARSAFE Labs. The company designs technology that helps users with their personal safety. If they're in any sort of trouble, they can use their devices to signal for help immediately. Lott emphasizes as a father of 5, it was his desire to work with WEARSAFE. Lott also found work as part of the board of directors for Springleaf Holdings, Inc. Thurman Thomas, construction business president. Thomas served as the workhorse and game-changing running back for the Buffalo Bills offensive machine that also consisted of fellow Hall of Famers Jim Kelly and Andre Reed. Thomas is among the most prolific and efficient running backs of his era, winning both the 1991 MVP and Offensive Player of the Year awards. Thurman and the Bills reached 4 straight Super Bowls in the 90s, though they unfortunately lost every single one. He finished with 12,074 rushing yards and 65 touchdowns for his career. Thomas played with the Bills from 1988 to 99 before playing his swan song year with the Miami Dolphins in 2000. And in case you're wondering, TT is doing just fine these days. He is still running the Thurman Thomas Foundation, and in 2014 was named the new vice chair of the New York State Tourism Advisory Council. Thomas also spends his time as the president of the 34th Group construction business. In case you didn't know, Thomas donned the number 34, which the Bills have since retired. Sadly, Thomas has also been dealing with the effects from concussions that he had suffered during his career, claiming that he has uncontrollable mood swings. The condition has tragically worsened, but Thomas is still doing all he can to live a fulfilling life. Let's hope that he finds more happiness going forward. He deserves it after all the great work he's done both on and off the field. Terrell Owens, modeling. One of the most polarizing figures in NFL history, what more can we say? Owens is one of the most unstoppable wide receivers for a decade and a half. The perennial Pro Bowl talent led the NFL in touchdowns 3 times, and he finally received a long overdue Hall of Fame induction in 2018. Owens was always involved in some form of controversy, whether it was celebrating on the Dallas Star or bad-mouthing his own teammate Donovan McNabb in public. It was never a dull moment with Owens, whether you liked him or not. Hard to believe that it's already been a decade since his final NFL season, which took place with the Cincinnati Bengals in 2010. He considered the CFL during the 2018 offseason, but that never came to fruition. Owens has since appeared in a handful of TV shows following his retirement from football, including Dr. Phil and The Challenge, among others. But aside from the occasional television gigs, Owens has also enjoyed a career in modeling. That works nicely when you remember that the guy did sit-ups while shirtless in his driveway in front of the media. Now he gets to show off those abs in his new modeling shoots. Owens revealed in a 2012 interview with GQ that he lost most of the $80 million he made during his pro football career. Good thing he's a household name, because Owens should have no problem landing modeling gigs for the remainder of his post-football career. What other former NFL stars are now working regular jobs? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.